so I thought I'd share a little bit of how I got to the start of my ARFID journey and where I am now. So what you guys might not know about me is that as well as ARFID, I also struggle with generalized anxiety disorder. I started having some pretty serious anxiety at the end of my 8th grade year. So I'm in 12th grade now, so about 4 years ago. I would start having these panic attacks that would end in me dry heaving, and throwing up has always been one of my worst fears, so that was very scary for me. So this scared me out of doing a lot of things because I didn't want that to happen again. I wanted to avoid what I called the bad feeling, and so I avoided a lot of situations. So much so that I avoided leaving my house for about 2 years. It was really hard to do anything and go anywhere because I would feel so terrible even just trying to leave my house. So with the anxiety, everything became more difficult, including eating. And then after a while, I started having stomach issues because of the stress and because of the anxiety. And so that made eating even more difficult. And I started restricting my diet and how much I ate and which types of foods I ate. And then over time, my foods started going through the rotations. And so I'd get really into one food for a while, and then I would get tired of it, or I'd feel weird after eating it, and I would drop it. It also became very hard for me to eat around other people or outside of the house. However, I think my food struggles got covered up by all of the other anxiety that was going on because everything else was taking priority over it, as it should have at that time. It would have been too much to deal with this at the same time. Even though it took a long time and a lot of hard work, I'm able to do so much more now, and I'm so grateful to God for helping me through all that. That's not to say that some things aren't still hard. One of those things being food. So now I struggle with the fear that food will make me throw up, feel nauseous, or have GI symptoms. I also struggle with sensory sensitivities since my anxiety heightened all of my senses, and now things that used to not bother me do, like smell and texture. I also have a very high emotional memory, meaning that I latch onto experience and remember it for a long time. So if I feel badly after eating a food, that means I'll remember it for a long time and never want to eat that food again. Or if I don't like the smell of a food, then I won't want to eat that food again. This is because those memories really stick with me and it's very hard for me to move past them. So more recently, at my yearly physical, my mom was telling my doctor about my food anxieties, and we got recommended to a dietitian and a GI doctor just in case. But while we were waiting for those appointments, I got Instagram for the first time, and I saw a video of Hannah from My ARFID Life doing a true or false video about ARFID. As I read the description, I was like, this sounds like me. So I decided to do a lot more research into ARFID. And then I was like, wow, this really sounds like me. And so I sent it to my mom. And over the next couple of months, I did a lot of research learning a lot about ARFID. I remember being actually excited to find out about this. And I was thinking to myself, why am I excited to find out that I might have an eating disorder? But then I realized it was because it was like I was discovering a piece of myself. I finally had the words to explain what I couldn't explain before. I didn't have words for my experience previously, and now I did. So I had both my other appointments, and the dietitian even said that she thinks I hit the nail right on the head, that this is what it is. I'm still waiting for an official diagnosis, but I meet all the diagnostic criteria. I currently have an appointment in August with a doctor who can officially diagnose it, but I'm on a waiting list and I hope I can get in sooner. So I knew that I wanted to help other people feel less alone, just like Hannah's account had done for me. I had wondered if I should wait until I had an official diagnosis to start this account, but then I learned how long it was going to be. And then I realized that the wait is part of the journey. And some of you guys might be at that part of that journey right now, and maybe you can connect to this. Because there can even be growth in the waiting. I knew I didn't want to just wait around for 5 months doing nothing, and so I decided to start this account and to document my journey and progress on my own. So whatever progress I can make before my appointment counts, and it matters, even if it's just a little bit. Because progress isn't about doing a lot, it's about taking a step forward. And part of that progress is just being able to be open about my eating struggles and not having to feel embarrassed or like I'm being difficult, but being able to be open, vulnerable, and honest. Because when people are honest and vulnerable, that's when connection happens. And that's when people feel less alone. So thank you so much for being on this journey with me and watching my videos. It means a lot to me. I hope you have a great day. You are loved. Bye.